The booth, so do come up to the announce position. We may have your cell phone here at the booth. But heat race number 1 set to go for the Kaiser Wheels IMCA RaceSaver Sprints. Again, your front row, the 51A of Elliot Almdahl. To Elliot's outside, the 2D Dusty Ballinger. 8 cars, nice and easy through turns 3 and 4. Green goes up, hammer down, let's do this. Almdahl on the inside, Ballinger outside, trying to find a way to the front. Here comes the 8 machine. That's Jacob Hughes. Jacob scheduled to roll off 8th, already up to 3rd. Jesse Lindbergh with a big move up the inside. But it's Elliot Almdahl, your leader. Elliot Almdahl leads, Dusty Ballinger, the 8 of Jacob Hughes, the 7L Jesse Lindbergh, and the 70 of Ben Waxdahl, your top 5. Lindbergh goes slide job, move Lindbergh up to P3, getting around Hughes. Elliot Almdahl, the 51A, starting to open it up now over the combine. Jesse Lindbergh trying to reel in top 2 cars. Hughes, Waxdahl running out to top 5. Jesse Lindbergh in the 7L running just about a half a groove lower than the other front 2 cars. Slowly reeling in the 2D of Ballinger, but does Lindbergh have the time? Elliot Almdahl with about a half straightaway advantage over Ballinger, Lindbergh, Hughes, and Waxdahl, your top 5. Jesse Lindbergh continues to reel in Ballinger in a battle for the 2nd spot. But up front, it's all Elliot Almdahl in the 51A. Ballinger, Lindbergh, Hughes, and Waxdahl. Blaine Peterson out in the loose stuff outside of 3 and 4. The 68+1, Blaine Peterson back on track. Will stay clean and green as this time by. White flag out, 1 to go for Elliot Almdahl. Through turns 3 and 4, he's looking awful strong here in heat race number 1 for the RaceSaver Sprints. Your winner, Elliot Almdahl. 2nd to the combine, Dusty Ballinger. Jesse Lindbergh, 3rd. The 8 machine of Jacob Hughes, 4th, and running out the top 5, the 70. That is Ben Waxdahl. So Elliot Almdahl with a dominant performance here in heat race number 1. For your IMCA RaceSaver Sprints. RaceSaver Sprints. Jason Martin picked up the feature win last night in the 5X, started 15th, and doesn't have to quite start back so far here in heat race number 2. Have to see if Martin continue to have the the setup hooked up here at Park Jefferson Speedway. Again, Shane Fick, Mike Stegan on your front row, Caleb Johnson, JD Holmes your row number 2, as the green flag waves here in heat race number 2 for your RaceSaver Sprints. Shane Fick not getting up to speed. Caleb Johnson, it pulled right around as Fick still having trouble in the 7 car, just falling back in the pack. Caleb Johnson with a big advantage off turn 4. Johnson lead lap 1. Definite trouble on the 7 of Shane Fick. Shane limping around the front stretch, trying to make it to the end of turn 1. Looks like he'll pull off to the left into the infield. JD Holmes slows on the backstretch. Hopefully we can get JD off track so we can stay clean and green. We cannot. Caution for the 43 of JD Holmes. Rough lap number 1. Shane Fick hit the gas and had just nothing there. Did not want to take off of turn number 4. Fick limped around and pulled into the infield area. They got a couple crew guys looking at the machine out there. JD Holmes on a backstretch in the 43 slowed as well. So caution for the 43 of Holmes. Can help you. Liberty National Bank, member FDIC. Got the 43 pushed to the infield, the 7 as well. So we're going to go back to green flag racing with Caleb Johnson out front. Johnson, your leader. Martin second. Smith, Stegana, and Aiken, your top 5. Aiken trying to battle around Stegana for that 4 spot. But it's Still Caleb Johnson at the front, under pressure now from Jason Martin. Martin in the 5X in that runner-up spot, pulling double duty tonight. We'll see him later on, trying to work his way into the 360 feature. But Martin going to the top shelf. Big run down the front stretch, but Martin running out of room. This time going to go to the inside in 1 and 2. Still can't make it work. It's Caleb Johnson, Jason Martin, Colin Smith, your top 5. Martin again to the top side in turns 3 and 4. Awful high off 4. Johnson slides up. Johnson, Martin, Smith, still your top 3. Jason Martin trying to get that top line work. Caleb Johnson committed to the bottom. Johnson with about a 2 car length advantage over the 5X machine of Martin. Martin again to the top side. Trying to get a big run on the straightaways. Johnson up the block, but Martin is already there. Martin sends it off into turn 1. Johnson dives to the bottom and a crossover. Martin again, much like last night, seems to be better in turns 3 and 4. Johnson going to slide up. Martin going to cross over, trying to get to that inside, take away Johnson's line. Martin going to go bottom of Speedway in 1, going to try to slide up, but Johnson's there, but can complete the pass. Move Martin to the race lead. Johnson going to try to go down the bottom side once again as the white flag waves. 1 to go for your new leader, the 5X of Jason Martin. Martin, Johnson, Smith, Aiken, your top 4. Mike Stegan having trouble in the 35. He'll turn off into the infield. And off of turn number 4, checkered flag out. Heat race number 2 goes to the 5X of Jason Martin. Martin very fast in heat race action once again tonight. He picked up the feature win last night at night number 1 of the South Dakota Sprint Car Nationals for the 305 RaceSaver Sprints. Have to consider maybe him a favorite for night number 2 as well. Your new front row is now the 10 of Cole Nordquist and the 77G of Mike Grass. A couple of South Dakota's best. Going to lead the field to the green here in heat race number 1 for the IMCA SportMods. Grass not able to get up to speed. That allows Cole Nordquist to thunder off into turn 1 with the race lead. Rusty Montang and Carl Brewer battling for the runner-up spot with Connor Vanderweerd. Jeff Brunson up into the top 5 as well. Brewer working the bottom side of the speedway, trying to get around Montang, but can't do it. Cole Nordquist going to lead lap 1. Carl Brewer again looks to the inside of Rusty Montang for the second spot, but can't make it work. Connor Vanderweerd in the 21, trying to move up as Jeff Brunson going to battle as well for positions 3, 4, and 5. But out front, it's all Cole Nordquist in the 10. Jeff Brunson trying to make some headway on the bottom side of the speedway. Back in a battle for the 4th spot as Brunson now slides to the high side in 3 and 4. Top 5 cars stretched out, spaced away for the rest of the field. Grass, Sage, and Edwardson battling it out back in the pack. But up front, the Nordquist Fab 10N of Cole Nordquist. Out to about a 5 car length advantage over Rusty Montang here in heat race number 1. White flag in the air, 1 to go for Cole Nordquist. Nordquist, Montang, Brewer, Vanderweerd, Brunson, your top 5 as the checkered flag waves. Cole Nordquist going to pick up the heat race win. Got Edwardson and Sage getting together, making a little contact in 3 and 4. That'll give Sage the 6th spot and Edwardson 7th, rounding out the field. But your heat race winner coming down the front stretch, the Nordquist Fab 10N out of Beersford. That is Cole Nordquist. His outside the OK, one stop, 1J out of Hotspur's John Foreman. Row 3 on the inside of 69 is Tony Rylson. Tony's outside the 44 of Cameron Vanderweerd, 21B Kirk Beatty, and the 1S out of Hotspur's Justin Kleinsma. Your 8 cars in heat race number 2. As the green flag waves, here we go. Cody Thompson with a big push in 1 and 2. He's going to fall back to about the 5th spot. Meanwhile, down through 3 and 4, Nicholas Peters, AJ Bulwer, John Foreman, all doing a little beating and banging through the corners. Nicholas Peters going to come out in front. Oh, big bobble out of Peters. That car pushing like a dump truck through 1 and 2. But trying to hold on to the top spot. John Foreman, AJ Bulwer side by side. Cameron Vanderweerd battling with Cody Thompson for positions 4 and 5 as Peters continues to lead. Foreman to the bottom. Bulwer comes down the hill, going to hold on to that 2nd spot. Vanderweerd trying to shoot the difference up between Foreman and Thompson to move into the 3rd spot. As up front, Nicholas Peters getting it done. Peters, Bulwer, Foreman, your top 3. Cody Thompson, a little bit of rub on Vanderweerd's rear quarter panel, but both cars straighten out and continue on cleaning green. Cody Thompson still trying to work the bottom as Nicholas Peters picks off another lap. Thompson to the bottom. Able to take over the 4th spot. Got his sights set on John Foreman for 3rd. We're quickly running out of time here in heat race number 2 for the SportMods. White flag out. Nicholas Peters your leader, but Thompson seems to have found something. Peters your leader. Bulwer, Foreman, Thompson. Thompson to the inside of Foreman. Foreman trying to get to the inside of Bulwer, but Thompson has to check up, avoid that infield tire. Might cost him 4th as well. Through turns 3 and 4, checkered flag set to wave, but who knows what's about to happen as here comes AJ Bulwer to the bottom. He's going to lose grip, but hold on for 2nd. Nicholas Peters with the win. AJ Bulwer 2nd. John Foreman holds on for 3rd. Couple of crazy closing laps for the IMCA SportMods here in heat race number 2. But glad to have him with us after not being here last night, picking up the heat race win out of Lamar's, driver of the 3 machine. That is Nicholas Peters. The 32, Jamie Turpin. The 68 +1 of Blaine Peterson. The 43, MB, JD Holmes. The 7 of Shane Fick. The 1CC, Clayton Christensen. And the 35, Mike Stegeda. The 16 cars scheduled to make the call do have a couple of no-shows here for the main event. But can he make it 2 nights in a row starting from the pole? The 5X of Jason Martin will bring the field to the green. Let's go racing. Jason Martin takes the caution on the speedway. The 4 car of Jeff Pendergrass pulls onto the track. Looks like everybody wasn't quite lined up where they need to be, so we'll get them re-racked and try it one more time. Once again, we do thank you all for coming out to the first annual, or the inaugural South Dakota Sprint Car Nationals presented by Pepsi. A little bit later on tonight, one of the cars and stars of the 360 world will have a chance to walk away with $10,000 for the feature winner a little bit later on tonight, with 35 laps to distance for our final feature of the evening. But once again, your front row, the 5X of Jason Martin, the 70 of Ben Waxtall will bring the field through 3 and 4 one more time. Getting awful close to the cone. Green flag up, hammer down, here we go. Jason Martin jumps to the top spot. Elliot Almdahl shot out of a cannon down the backstretch. Almdahl all the way up to 5th after starting back in the pack. But Jason Jason Martin out to a big lead already early on. Couple different lines working around Park Jefferson Speedway. Elliot Almdahl pushing the cushion down topside. Meanwhile, Dusty Ballinger all the way in on the hub inside. Almdahl going to slide down this time as Jason Martin continues to lead. Waxdahl, Hughes, Smith, and Ballinger, your top five. Your defending track champion, Colin Smith, in the 0-5, holding down the 4th spot. Dusty Ballinger and Elliot Almdahl, best battle on the track for the 5th spot. Meanwhile, Jason Martin, goodbye, full straightaway lead, just 3 laps in. Elliot Almdahl, too high in 1 and 2, takes the right rear off. He's going to lose a bunch of ground, lose 2, 3, 4 spots on the track. As Jason Martin over a full straightaway advantage. Everybody else all right together, but your leader's in a different zip code. Great battle for the 2nd through 5th spots as Waxdahl, Smith, Hughes, and Ballinger all right together in the speedway. Colin Smith goes around in 3 and 4, top side of the speedway. He comes to a stop. We're going to have a caution for the 0-5 of Colin Smith. Great battle for the positions 2 through 5. Waxdahl, Smith, Hughes, Ballinger all battling right there together. And the 0-5, our defending track champion, Colin Smith, a little hot into turns 3 and 4. Got it back in around on him and looped it around there at the top of turns 3 and 4. Martin, your leader, Waxdahl, in the 70 machine, the 8 of Hughes, the 2D of Ballinger, the 4 of Nate Aiken, your top 5. As we go back green. Jason Martin out front. Already opened it up now over Waxdahl. Hughes and Ballinger battling for the 3rd spot. Caleb Johnson trying to move up around Aiken into the 5th spot. Aiken and Johnson battling wheel to wheel for the 5th spot. Move Caleb Johnson up to 5th. Now here comes Shane Fick and Elliot Almdahl to join that battle for position. Meanwhile, down the backstretch, 3rd place goes to Dusty Ballinger. The combine moves up to 3rd. But in just a quick couple of laps, Jason Martin nearly a full straightaway over Ben Waxdahl. Dusty Ballinger goes to the top side, cracks the whip. He moves up into P2. We'll have to see if Ballinger has absolutely anything for Jason Martin, who has been dominant in feature racing this weekend in the IMCA RaceSaver Sprints. Caleb Johnson starting to make some headway as well. Johnson up to the 3rd spot in the 22. Ben Waxdahl 4th. The 8 machine, Jacob Hughes, running out the top 5. Elliot Almdahl and Nate Aiken battling for position. As we are halfway home. And Jason Martin beginning to encounter lap traffic. Martin puts the 4 machine of Pendergrass to lap down once again. Ballinger 2nd, Johnson 3rd, Waxdahl 4th, Elliot Almdahl and Hughes battling for the 5th spot. Top side of the speedway seems to be the preferred line as guys making the most headway are working the top. But Jason Martin is seriously in a different zip code. Dusty Ballinger cutting good laps in the runner-up spot, trying to get prepared for the 360 main event later. One up and over in turns 1 and 2. I do believe that is the 70 of Ben Waxdahl. Goes upside down in turn 1 and 2. Red flag, red flag. That is the 70 car of Ben Waxdahl upside down in turns 1 and 2. Nice and easy they go through turns 3 and 4. Again, watch that orange cone. That's the go button. Dusty Ballinger dives to the bottom, trying to get a move around Jason Martin, but Martin goes to the whip on the top side. Elliot Almdahl, good run off the top of the speedway as well. Move Almdahl up to P3. Caleb Johnson trying to fight back on the bottom side, but it definitely looks like the top working the best for the 305 sprints. As Martin, Ballinger, Almdahl, your top 3. Here comes Colin Smith back on the charge after his early caution. Hughes, Johnson, and Smith right together, positions 4, 5, and 6. But up front, Jason Martin slowly beginning to pull away. Great battle again, 4, 5, and 6 as Caleb Johnson has it. Colin Smith in the 5th spot. 6th is the 8 of Hughes. But that top side getting awful high around the speedway as Jason Martin will see 2 to go this time. Off of turn 4, the big bed sheet flies. It's got 1 to go for Jason Martin. It's Martin, Ballinger, Elliott Almdahl, Caleb Johnson, Hughes and Smith still battling out for 5th. Sweeping the weekend in style, total domination, your feature winner, driver of the 5X, Jason Martin. 2nd goes to Dusty Ballinger, Elliott Almdahl, Caleb Johnson, and 5th will go to the 8 machine of Jacob Hughes, rounding out your top 5. He had to work a little harder than last night. Last night he started 15th, and it took him halfway to get to the race lead. But tonight, no such troubles for the winner in the 5X machine. We'll get him up here into the front stretch victory lane momentarily. But what a dominant performance by Jason Martin. Also, great run for Dusty Ballinger in the 2D. The Combine going to be back out here later on for the big 10,000 to win show with the MSTS Nebraska 360 Sprints for the first of the inaugural South Dakota Sprint Car Nationals presented by Pepsi. So we'll see the 2D back out here in just a little bit. The team meets him in victory lane. Got the check and the checkered flag trophy all on the way over. He's out of the car. He can hear you about to do the wing dance. Your feature winner, the 5X of Jason Martin. Immediately, or we will move it for you, and that is not a bill you want to have on a Saturday night. Car needs to be moved immediately, like right now. Lights are out around the speedway. Rusty Montang, the T1, the 13K. Carl Brewer going to bring the field to the green. Adam Sage joining the field super late on the 4S on the backstretch as well. He'll tag the tail, but the lights are out. Here we go. Rusty Montang on the inside, Carl Brewer outside, Jeff Brunson, Cole Nordquist, your top 4. Brewer working the top side of the speedway, Montang on the bottom. Montang going to try to slide up the block. Brewer, can he get there at the line? Your first lap leader will be too close to call, couldn't tell you. As Montang and Brewer continue to work, Brewer with a good run off the top of turn number 2. Brewer takes the 13K to the top spot. Montang, Brunson, Nordquist, Boulware, your top 5. Adam Sage having trouble in turn 2. Looks like he's going to pull into the infield. Carl Brewer continues to lead, about a 2-car length advantage over Rusty Montang. Couple 5-6 back to Jeff Brunson. Montang trying to reel in the 13K of Brewer. Mike Grass goes around to the 77G. Grass trying to get it refired. Can't get it going. We're going to have caution for the 77 of Mike Grass. Once again, utilizing the Delaware double foul restart. Carl Brewer will bring the field through turns 3 and 4. Nice and easy, as tight as they go. Green flag's out. We're racing once again. AJ Boulware did not get a good start. He's going to fall back and lose about 5 or 6 spots. The 14 car falling back through the pack as Brewer, Montang, Brunson, your top three. Brewer going to slide up off turn number 4, make that straightaway as long as he can. Awful high down the front stretch. Meanwhile, Cody Thompson started at the tail. He's knocking on the door of the top 5 with a big run to the top of the speedway. Cody Thompson gets around John Foreman, moves the 25C up into P5. Jeff Brunson off in the marbles. Nordquist and Brunson doing a little rubbing down the backstretch. As Nordquist still off the loose with Brunson and Thompson in tow. Top 2 cars with a bit of a breakaway. Brewer with a couple car length advantage over Montang. Montang a good bite off too. Nordquist, Brunson, Thompson, your top 5. Brunson and Nordquist continue to battle for the 3rd spot. Cody Thompson wants to join the dance as well. But up front, Carl Brewer and Rusty Montang trying to run off from the field. Nordquist in the 10 continues to ride the hub. Brunson continues to push down the cushion. Cody Thompson trying to find an opening to get to the front. As Carl Brewer continues to lead, starting to open it up now over Rusty Montang. Cody Thompson thought about making it 3 wide, but that window closed up. Lots of 2 and 3 wide racing through the pack. But Brewer and Montang have begun to pull away from the field, continue to open it up as Carl Brewer continues to lead at the halfway point. Cody Thompson got to run around Jeff Brunson in 1 and 2, trying to pick off Cole Nordquist as well. Thompson trying to go from the tail up into the top 3. As Nordquist slides up, Thompson going to diamond out the corner, coming out of the bottom of the speedway. Move Cody Thompson to P3. Does Thompson have time to reel in the top 2 cars? Carl Brewer nearly a half straightaway advantage over Rusty Montang. Another half back to Cody Thompson in 3rd. That top line getting awful high around turns 3 and 4. Everybody working the top side. Cody Thompson seems to be working the bottom, finding the bottom to the lake into the 25 machine. Cole Nordquist goes around in turn number 2, the 10N, loops it around in the bottom of turn 2. We'll have caution for the 10N of Cole Nordquist. Starting inside of row number 2, Thompson started the tail, was working his way to the front. Have to see if he's got anything to challenge Brewer and Montang, who've been the top 2 the whole way. Green flag is out. Here we go. Montang took a super high line on the restart of 4. Montang going to lose the 2nd spot to Cody Thompson, and Thompson right in the rear view of the 13 of Carl Brewer. Thompson working the bottom side of the speedway. Thompson down low, Brewer up high. They're going to go 1-2 at the line. Thompson at the bottom in turn 1, trying to make the bottom line work. Going to slide up, look out, aggressive movement. Brewer able to hold him off. Brewer and Thompson 1 and 2. Montang, Brunson, Foreman, your top 5 as Cody Thompson still working the bottom side of the speedway. Got a good bite, but at the line, wheel to wheel at the line, number to number. Who's going to get the top spot? Brewer with a big run off turn 1 and 2, but can he get it back to him? Thompson gets the bite down low, that bottom side working for the 25. Brewer hard to the top of the speedway in 3 and 4, trying to get a big run, but Thompson up the block. We've got a new leader as cars spin on the backstretch. 2 cars go around the backstretch. The 3 of Nicholas Peters goes around. Not sure the other car facing us here in turn number 3. One of the cars is the 3 of Nicholas Peters. Not sure who that other car is facing us there off the top side of turn 2. The season again, Speed Shift TV puts out a great product, so definitely want to check that out if you have not done so as of yet. But the lights are out. We're set to go green. Cody Thompson got the top spot. Carl Brewer going to try to charge back on the outside. Thompson inside, Brewer outside. Brewer with a big run down the backstretch. He's going to be right there at the rear bumper of Thompson entering turns 3 and 4. Couple cars doing a little rubbing down through exiting of turn 4. But up front, it's Cody Thompson, Carl Brewer, Rusty Montang, Jeff Brunson, Tony Rylson inside the top 5 is this time by the flag stand. White flag in the air. Cody Thompson, your leader, with 1 to go. Through turns 3 and 4, he started at the tail. He's going to call it a weekend sweep as well. Your feature winner, Cody Thompson. Carl Brewer second, Rusty Montang, Jeff Brunson, and Tony Rylson rounding out the top 5. Well, so far this season, he has nearly doubled his career win total in the SportMod division. He picked up 4 last year, and he's already got 2 in his mini nights tonight. And we're getting to figure out, okay, let's see if he improved from last night. He overshot the victory lane last night. Oh, there we go. He got it tonight. Already his second feature win this season here in the SportMod division of Park Jefferson Speedway. Young man has worked his way up from the Sport Compact division, now into the SportMods. Still working on getting the helmet up out of the car in there. Got the family coming down to show him some love as well. Crew from Maskey Motorsports. See that coat walking down there. You can recognize that logo anywhere. Maskey Motorsports, Akron Pizza Ranch, so many great sponsors on the side of the 25C machine. But he's got the helmet off. He can hear you. Make some noise for your feature winner, Cody Thompson.